Hello everyone and welcome to RTM Wrestling Vlogs, blogs, whatever,
We don't know.
whatever, from Wrestlemania 33. This is day one. We're in Orlando. We've made it. We're here. And we're going to do one of these once a day. So we're going to just say, we've done this, we've done that. This was good, this was bad. I doubt there's going to be a lot of bad until we get to Hall of Fame tomorrow. But, thought we'd just chat about what we've done. So what have we done today, Anne?
Well, it's been nothing wrestling related today. Although we got here last night so we left Manchester Wednesday afternoon. We got here eventually. We had to fly via Boston because we can't afford a direct flight because they're so expensive.
First time we've not stayed in Boston.
Oh, it's a bit gutted. So we changed in Boston, and we got a flight at around like 8:15. So we ended up getting. It was weird. We were supposed to get in for 11:30 or 11:45. No, 11:54.
11:54.
And the pilot just sped, which I didn't know they could do. Just sped and got us there for 11.
Yeah. 50 minutes
How's
early.
that a thing? Why do pilots do that? But yeah, so we got here quite early, but then obviously didn't get our baggage and our hotel till midnight, so then you arrive at midnight, there's nothing you can do. Nobody here.
Nobody
Like
here.
literally nobody here. And I thought I was going to walk in. I literally thought I was going to walk in and there would be like a bar full of people just saying Enzo Amore's opening gambit as I walked in unison, and I'd be like, oh, these fucks, I'm never going to sleep. And we just walked in, there's like no fucker here. Just this like in the foyer there's like a Wrestlemania merchandise booth, but it was closed obviously. But they had like a little glass bit so you could see some of the like trinkets that they had. It's like the little pin badges and stuff, so we're like, oh, brilliant. But that was probably the most wrestling-y it got. And then we obviously Thursday, there's nothing on Thursday. Hall of Fame.
Wise,
WWE, yeah. So we've got Hall of Fame tomorrow. So we thought we'll go to Universal Studios because WWE picked the Doubletree Hilton at the entrance of Universal, which is where we are.
Which is where we are now. It's quite lovely. Little curtains here. As you
Yeah,
can
I
see.
know, yeah. It's fancy. So, well, it's not fancy. But, we went to Universal Studios today and we had such a great time. We spent a lot of time, though, looking at people's T-shirts to see who was a wrestling fan, and
there was a lot of them.
Loads of
There was a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it's good because this Doubletree Hotel is literally about 10-15 minute walk away from the entrance to Universal. Which is absolutely awesome. Like, you went on the Hulk ride.
I did. I went on the Hulk ride.
Nutcase.
First thing I went on. It was fantastic. It was just brilliant. I've never been to Florida before, so this is a huge treat, and it's been amazing already. And there's been like nothing wrestling related at all, apart from a couple of people. Someone came up because I'm wearing a Revival top today. So obviously they're at TakeOver, big match of the night potentially. So I had a couple of people saying, oh, I really like your T-shirt. One of the security guys at Hard Rock Live was like, they're going to win! They're going to do it! Or if they don't win, they're going up and they've got to go to SmackDown. And it was just really cool to hear people like really
talking about it,
super passionately about it.
And interestingly enough, in the Hard Rock, so we've just come from the Hard Rock now where we had far too many drinks.
Just to
Well, I had far too many drinks then and had to sober up before we did this. But our waiter was called Dr. Bud.
Oh yeah.
And he's an old like American indie tag team wrestler. In a tag team called Weed. And he was Dr. Bud, and he was the other. What was the other guy?
Oh, I can't remember, but the Weed stood for something, didn't it? I can't remember what it stood for.
It was like wrestling extreme.
Yeah, it was great.
Like
Absolutely brilliant.
But yeah, so he said he's got some matches on YouTube and stuff. So, Dr. Bud, we will check out your matches.
And he's got loads of wrestlers staying with him at the moment from like Lucha Underground and stuff because he lives in Florida and they're obviously all over in Florida. We're like, God, it's amazing who you meet just randomly. We saw a wrestler in the park.
We did see a wrestler in the park. We saw Cowboy James Storm. with his wife in the Universal Islands of Adventure, watching a jazz band play. Which, when jazz is playing, I'm naturally drawn to it.
He loves it.
But I think I think you can spot wrestlers a mile off.
You just can.
Yeah. They're just naturally, to borrow Trent Seven's weight when he is in a wrestling ring. He's naturally hench. So
you see, the thing is, I wouldn't notice them in a million years if it wasn't for the fact of WrestleMania's on. So, like, when we're around, if I see anyone who's a bit jacked, I'm like, oh, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Oh, it's just a man.
Just a jack dude.
It's just a man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was. We knew straight away.
I didn't go up and say, oh, can we have a picture or any of that garbage?
No.
For people who are long time listeners of the show, we don't do that. We will pay a VIP session to go and see somebody if we want to. But the guy was just trying to have a nice day. So
yeah, I just don't.
There was a point though when we was like walked past him and I was quite close to him, and he clocked the wrestling t-shirts.
Oh, did he?
I was a bit like, are they going to say anything? And I kind of like looked at him. It wasn't like an eye contact thing, but I kind of looked at him and then looked away and thought, he's just trying to have his fucking day. Just let him know.
It would take a lot for me to go up to someone ever, despite, like, even if they were in work mode, I don't think I'd go up to them. And if they're with their family, it's so embarrassing. So yeah, no, it's not.
It is, but he would have had loads. He would have had loads of people that day, just like giving him hassle.
But yeah, we went. So not to like flitter. No, we've got no structure to this. This is just our vlog.
No.
So.
We've not actually done this before.
No,
so.
never.
Yeah.
Andy kindly mentioned that I went on the Hulk ride before, and you might notice my voice is fucked because, and I think it's because I screamed so much on it, and I got off the ride and I wasn't quite right, and my voice has just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse.
Why is that? Because it's a mental ride.
It's really
I've got two words that sums up the Hulk in a ride. If anybody says to me the Hulk as a ride or anything like that, is fuck that. No way would you get me anywhere near that fucking thing. The closest I got to it was about 20 yards from the entrance, and that was as close as I wanted to get. Like, you're absolutely, and I was so impressed with you.
Oh, thanks.
Not that, like, I wouldn't have think that you would have done that, but like, you couldn't, you physically could not pay me to get me on any of that fucking twisty roller coaster shit. Like, I wouldn't even go on the fucking Simpsons ride, which was a simulator.
So
like,
now
no,
to be a simulator.
No, thank you. No thanks. No thanks for me. I'm a watcher. I'm an observer. I like to just coast around these parks, look at all the pretty things, all the pretty signs, all the pretty rides.
There's nothing wrong with that though.
Don't want to go on no fucking rides.
Look how much of an advantage I had today as a solo
Single
rider. Because I know that this sounds like I'm teaching you how to suck eggs, but we don't go to parks because Andy doesn't like rides. I like them, but like I'm not obsessed by them or anything. So I don't desperately need for us to go and be at a theme park. So I've not been to a theme park for years and years.
It was mint though. I did go on Amazing Spider-Man.
He did. He did.
Amazing. So I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so I enjoyed that greatly. We went on the E.T. ride. Don't go on the E.T. ride. It's a bit shit.
Jesus Christ, is that out of date?
Yeah.
Bloody hell! So it's the Shrek ride.
Steven Spielberg still had like his normal colour hair.
He was wearing like double denim in the video as well, which I just thought, what the fucking when the fuck did they film this?
Yeah, totally was.
Yeah, so the Shrek ride was shy as well. There was a couple
Shrek ride was
of shitters.
I think the Shrek ride was done really well as like a bit of film.
Yeah, it was old. It's just old.
Yeah, but it was done well as a bit of film. But if it as a ride, all it had, it was like a 4D. Joe's, 4D experience. Anyone who's like lives in Manchester has been to the Natural History Museum,
Science and Industry,
Mozzie. There's a 4D cinema there, and it's like £2 to get in it, and your chair moves a bit, and they blow water.
It was pretty much the same as that.
Yeah, pretty much the same as that, but with Shrek. But there was a lot of build up. There was a lot of like anticipation, and then you get in and it just looked like Stockport Odeon, like back in the day, like a curtain that just come down, and it didn't even fill. Didn't even fill the whole. Anyway.
But so, I think you can safely say we really enjoyed Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure today.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Probably going to go back tomorrow.
So cool looking at people's t-shirts. What was really cool, I thought, with the wrestling t-shirts was, and it'll be different tomorrow, and it'll be different on Friday because the travel package only starts on Friday, and we're on here on. No.
It's Thursday.
So
today.
yeah, I
travel.
think it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
travel package starts tomorrow.
So
that's when all the people
Universal is going to be different for the next sort of few days. It's going to be like full of wrestling fans, whereas we're here quite early. But I was quite surprised at the array of different wrestling shirts I saw.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a load of Cena shirts. Not that I thought it would be, but
I saw an ICW shirt which was amazing.
That's cool.
Which I've not even seen on their shop, and I don't know why they've not got it now. But it was Sons of Anarchy. But it was like I think it still said Sons of Anarchy, but it had like ICW brand, and
it's very good.
It was really cool. And I didn't see who it was who was wearing it. It's probably like a wrestler or something. But I was too busy looking at the damn shirt. But I have been kind of walking around just like...
Yeah, you can't help it. You just can't. And like, because wrestling fans, we're all so awkward. We don't speak to each other. So it's all a bit like, you don't even acknowledge each other. You just look at each other's shirts. A bit like, you know, when like, I don't know if you've ever seen like two children pass each other in a pram. It's like two babies clock each other and they just stare at each other. They don't react. They just don't do anything. But that was kind of like wrestling fans. We just kind of stare and... Apart from that girl who said nice t-shirt, and then someone talking to me on the Simpsons ride, and that was it.
You're more approachable than me.
And the security person.
I don't think
so
many
wearing
people...
a revival top and you're wearing a Pete Dunne top.
I don't think many people know who the Bruiserweight is just yet, but shame on you. You will know soon.
12 months' time, baby.
12 months' time, WrestleMania 24.
34. But tomorrow we're going to go, we think. So we've got Hall of Fame in the evening, and then we've kind of got a day, obviously, where we've not got much on. But we did Universal today. Disney's a little far away, and we want to spend some time because we've got Disney tickets, some of the parks.
Yeah.
So we want to spend some good amount of time there and not encroach on our wrestling days now, which we're heading into like crazy wrestling time. So, Orange County Convention Centre.
Tomorrow we're coming for you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the Superstore to try and get that out of the way. Because my thoughts, and whether you've been before and you're watching this and you could advise, let us know in the comments below, is to go and get the Superstore out of the way. Because we're going to buy as much tat as we can physically fit in our cases. We've actually brought with us empty cases that were inside the other ones, just to try and bring no belts. You all know my feelings on belts. Well, I'm joking. I got a lot of shit. Do you know what? I got a lot of shit last time. Got a lot of shit last time for making that joke.
Really?
Yeah. Because I said on, what was it we were doing? I can't remember. But we did something. Yeah, let's get that back on. So
I know. Yeah, the screen went black. That's why I just came close to the camera.
I made a joke of saying that if you're at a wrestling show, don't take a belt, and when your favourite wrestler comes out, don't hold it over your head like you're the champ. And I'm obviously joking. Do that if you want to. But yeah, I would never buy a belt. So no. But the
people buy belts to get them signed by wrestlers.
Yeah, that's cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
This and wearing it, and this.
There was a dude, and again, like not jumping on anyone. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But there was a guy who was on. Was it the? I can't remember. It was the last Raw we watched or something like that. And he was on the front row, and he had a WWE title on one hand and on one arm, and the old school WCW, which was the World Heavyweight Championship, on the other arm. And he was kind of like just stood like that the whole night. It's like you can't cheer, you can't like yes, because then it drops anyway. So yeah, so we'll
it's
do
not
that.
for us.
So, but we're gonna buy over needless tat, which is equally as pointless to most other people.
Oh my god, well, it's needless.
But just see what it is. So I thought that was going to be the best way of getting that out of the way, so then we can go to Access on Saturday and not worry about carrying around bags. Because like to me, there's nothing worse than if you go into the Access arena with the NXT guys and the UK Championship guys, try to sit down on those seats or stand and watch when you got tons of bags of shit with you. So like, I think that's probably the best way of doing it, and then come back, chill out, and then enjoy the Hall of Fame. Enjoy Angle crying and doing the Stone Cold with milk.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I am.
It's a bit weird.
It did a little. No, I'm looking forward to the Hall of Fame. I was a little bit. I think I was a little bit not pissy about it, but I was a bit dismissive of the Hall of Fame before we came out. But now that it's been such a good idea that they've switched over NXT with the Hall of Fame, because it's such a good intro into the weekend, that if it was NXT tomorrow and then Hall of Fame on the Saturday, I just don't know how up for Hall of Fame I'd be.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably be saying to you, shall we just go to a park, and if we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. Whereas now, I think it's a really good kick-off, and then you've got... Because I could have booked us a flight for the Friday to get us in kind of like Friday lunchtime or Friday afternoon. But one, I didn't have an extra £300, £400 per person, which is what it was.
Shocking.
So expensive. But I just thought, what if the flight was delayed and you got there on the Friday, but then you were due to get there sort of like Friday afternoon and you got delayed, and then it was late afternoon, and then you get into your hotel and you're going to miss the first part of Hall of Fame if you get there at all.
Yeah.
And I thought, Christ, it would be so awful if that was NXT. And that was your first day and you missed NXT, but you're there all fucking day for Hall of Fame the day after. You'd be so gutted.
Let's be honest, guys. We've all watched Hall of Fames in the past. They can drag a little bit. Lita, love her, which is great. But you don't need to thank every fucking person in your entire career. Just come on there, give me what I want to hear. Kurt Angle needs to say, it's true, it's damn true, or it's true, and he needs to leave. No, I'm joking.
It's true.
It's true.
No, it's true. But yeah, no, Hall of Fame could be a bit boring. But I mean, now that you're here, now we're here, and we've done a day.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the impending? I was going to say doom then, but the impending. Yeah.
I'm up for it. I think it's been a really nice way of introducing Orlando today. My feet are killing. I've got blisters for days, but most of what we're going to be doing for the next 5 days, is it? 5 days, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're on SmackDown as well. Is going to be sat on our asses watching wrestling. So it's all fine. It's not. Hopefully they don't start wrestling there. But it was good to get it out, to walk all day, get a couple of burgers to eat, and then we're back here. So I'm really looking forward to it. How about you?
Super excited, yeah. Really, really excited. I think it's been it's quite strange because, I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest about this, it's a bit tough because I don't quite know what to expect, because I'm not an unsociable person by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't, there's quite a lot of talk about people like, oh, let's share taxis with each other and who's drinking at the bar and all this, and I just
can't be asked.
I just want me and Andy to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not like not up for meeting people and all that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm slightly apprehensive because I don't know. I don't know. End up with
the generic hanger on.
I don't end up with a wrestling friend that I don't necessarily want, which sounds awful. But the thing is, this is what you need to know about us. If you're watching this and you like this show, you'd think that anybody who comes and tries to hang on with us, we would try and sell our show to them.
We don't. Let's face it, disciples. For the regular 12 of you that listen, we don't even sell it to you guys.
We really don't.
So
embarrassing. That's just cringe.
It's super cringe because people do it all the time. When we say we're not sociable, in that case we are. We do talk to a lot of people, and they always fucking throw their stuff to us. But yeah, I'm same opinion as you. I just want to be here with you and not have to.
Because it's our first one as well.
Yeah, not have to go for drinks in the bar while we're all just talking about whether or not you like John Cena or not.
I think there's a lot of people as well who, sorry to interrupt you, but I think that some people are 5 times WrestleMania visitors. So they've been doing this loads. And it's our first time here, so I just want to soak it in and do my own thing.
I don't want to just sit in the bar for 4 hours and get pissed while we could be walking around an amusement park.
No.
Anyway, we would be amiss for including a bit of news that came after the last podcast, and that is now that the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship match involves ladders. So for some reason they didn't announce it on the night of Raw.
Strange.
Even though they're all beating on each other with ladders. And they had to wait a couple of days to announce that. It's like, you're all beating on each other with ladders. Why not just say, on Raw, it's now a ladder match? Can you not gain that 4 seconds? I just said it for you. There. You could have let us know first. I could have told the 12 people to listen to this.
It was weird, though, because it was like you and I were having a conversation about it, about the women's, like the Raw women's match. How
just having a random stipulation.
Yeah, how like their stipulation just got added like a few hours before Raw on one of those WWE news things, and it got announced. I've loaded up my Bleacher Report thing, which has the tweets, and it said, "Oh, new stipulation been added for the women's match." Posted 3 minutes ago, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's this?" Follow the link, and it's one of those like news videos, like Kathy Kelly-esque, but some dude doing it stood outside the venue for Raw, going, "Oh, and just let everyone know, breaking news. This is what the women's match is going to be." And I thought, that's really weird, because Raw's in a few hours. Don't you want to just announce it? Isn't it better to break it on Raw? I don't know, because it's not as though breaking it on the internet beforehand like that would make people tune into Raw, because you're not selling anything, you're just giving something away. So I didn't really get it. So then when they were attacking each other with ladders, it became like maybe they are going to turn it into a ladder match, but they're just going to announce it afterwards in some kind of weird news thing. And they did.
Yeah.
Just because that's the go home show, and they attacked each other with ladders. So you go, you start scratching your head, going, "What the fuck's going on here?" Yeah. And then they just announce it just as a piece of news, which is really
just
really
out of
strange.
the blue. They just say, "Oh, it's going to be a ladders match," which is great, because that's what we wanted. We've had quite a few tweets as well saying that you've got your ladder match and all that sort of stuff. So it's good that people actually listen to us and say that. Which then begs the question: is a certain broken brothers got to turn up on it? I'm, like we said on the last show, now that they've announced that it's a ladder match, strangely enough, I'm even less inclined to say they are. Because there's still quite a lot. We've had quite a few tweets through saying about, now it's a ladder match, the Hardys is definitely going to turn up. The Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions on April 1st are doing a Ring of Honor show. I know it's not WrestleMania Day, I know it's the day before, but because I would have thought it'd be fun for them to just turn up at NXT and have something there. Obviously, you can't do that, even though the show's earlier in the day, the ROH Supercard show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think, I thought they were going to come out when they were attacking each other with ladders on Raw. I thought, well, of course, and there was this rumour that the Hardys were going to be signed. But of course, they're going to come out on WrestleMania. And then I found out about the show they're doing.
Yeah.
On the 1st, and I thought, there's no way.
Yeah, because they've got short-term deals with. They've got short-term deals with ROH. I'm sure ROH wouldn't be amiss for them to just turn up on WrestleMania as well. I'm sure they wouldn't put like a block out of the way, like they do with the old, like TNA does, and the fact that TNA is still trying to, what is it, Anthem Promotions or whatever, is still trying to, license that delete broken gimmick.
Crazy.
It's just ridiculous.
They're out of their minds.
It's ridiculous, and like if WWE throw a tenth of their legal muscle behind that, it's going to be gone pretty quick. But for some reason, now that they've announced this ladder match, I'm less inclined that they're going to turn up. But I, if they are, it won't be in that. It'll be in like a New Day segment, or they'll just they'll just do a run out. They won't wrestle. I don't think, if they're going to do it at all. But it is imminent. They've been offered contracts. They've been, I'm sure they've accepted them. But it is, I reckon it is soon. It's within the next sort of month. I think they turn up.
Yeah, I could see them coming on like the Raw the night after. See them turning up on there. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be at WrestleMania. They've kind of got to come out soon, and it's perfect timing for WrestleMania. But it's just that bloody match they've got the night before.
Yeah,
It makes me go, nah.
I don't think that makes any difference as far as like them doing a run out goes, but probably because they've got a ladder match that they're against the Young Bucks for the ROH Tag Team Championships, so it's 2 ladder matches back to back.
So.
Even for those guys, I bet it'd be a bit of push. Yeah, they'll turn up at some point, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I'd love it if they did. It'd be amazing. But we're all expecting it now. So if they're not turning up on WrestleMania or Raw the night after, then I think they should be quite clever about keeping it a secret and trying to surprise people. Because if they're not coming out there, then they've got a real opportunity to go, right, we can do this really well.
Yeah.
If we've got time to think about it, then they should want that to be as impactful as possible.
Yeah, and if we're being honest, they're needed on SmackDown. They're not needed on Raw. SmackDown would be awesome. They could have the Wyatts after coming off Bray's potential probable loss at WrestleMania. The Wyatt family versus the Hardys would be something else to me. Speaking of WrestleMania, though, the next bit, last bit of news that I want to discuss is the kickoff show matches.
Oh, yeah.
So that was announced after the last show as well. So I thought I'd shoehorn it into this one a little bit. So as far as I can remember, we've got Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman has been announced for. Shining Stars have been announced for it. As I said, they would be. You took that prediction to the bank. It was either that or not at all, wasn't it? If we're being honest. Strange for this one. And let's talk about this one first. Usos are in it. Usos and American Alpha in it. So no tag team title. No.
I didn't think it would be.
No, you even said that, and I was stupid enough to think that if you do an incredible match live on TV, that they may want to replicate it for one of the biggest shows of the year. Because the SmackDown tag team title match where the Usos won the belts was great, absolutely great. One of the best tag team matches I've seen out of those guys for a while on SmackDown. It seemed like they would let go a little bit. So to stick them in the Battle Royal to me means that they couldn't give a shit about those titles and couldn't give a shit about the Usos actually winning them in the first place. Which then begs the question: why did you take them off American Alpha so close to WrestleMania when they're not even going to defend? They're not even going to have a SmackDown tag team title match actually in it anyway.
Yeah. No, it's really disappointing, but not surprising.
There's a lot of shit on this year's WrestleMania, and I don't mean shit as in like it's crap. I mean there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of matches. So to put it, was it like 12 or something like that? To then put it up, if you're in for a penny, in for a pound, you're going to do 12, do 13. But then maybe they're superstitious, so they'd have to add another one, which would be 14. Then you just had a 2-minute match between Daniel Bryan and Sheamus again.
True that.
So that's the Memorial Battle Royal. Then next one is Austin Aries against Neville for the Cruiserweight title. Quite a lot of people who tweeted to the show last time when we were doing the predictions said that this was going to be match of the old evening. And Austin Aries. We actually got a tweet about this because of Hootron Superman, who gave us loads of DMs the other day. So I'm going to read these out because he got them in a bit late, so we couldn't read them out. But so to start with, Austin Aries tweeted about his reactions to being put on the pre-show. It's basically saying something along the lines, it's not verbatim, but something along the lines of, I've seen a lot of passionate talk about what's the, what people think of my relegation or something like that to the pre-show. But he basically said that I'm the guy that elevates anything that they're on. So he doesn't see it at all as being a relegation. So let me just load this up. I think it's in the direct messages. This phone will do something. So Hootron Superman has put Neville Aries. I know people are pissed it's a pre-show match, but if this match was on the main card, does it get such a great showing? Wouldn't this be the match that I slotted in for the bathroom piss breaks for the spot? Probably. So that in this case, then WrestleMania is, and this is his word still, more likely to be Dean and Dean Ambrose against Baron Corbin on the actual main show. Neville and Aries wouldn't have to be given enough time really to steal the show unless it was a spot fest. I think what the division needs is Neville to win at WrestleMania, and then Aries to chase the belt for 3 or more months. And we have a bit of a hot potato. We have a bit of hot potato going on with the belt at the moment. They haven't really built a great face. Perkins is swan and great at the ring, but they don't have time to showcase or build a character. 3 best possible personalities, in the division are Neville, Kendrick, and Aries, who is a natural heel, but he does good faces as well. And we can get behind it, Jack Gallagher. If Aries loses, you can have another title match at the next Raw pay-per-view. Maybe lose it again in like a classic 5-star match. Then maybe after 3 months feud, finally dethrone Neville. 2 world-class athletes just need a good storyline and emotion attachment to help the belt. So thanks very much, Who Tran Superman. So yeah, I agree with like pretty much everything there, because I mean you said it pretty well last time. It's like they've done this quite well with him being on commentary, and then coming off it, you know.
Yeah, no, really, really.
And he's been given loads of time. It does annoy me, and I do agree with his comments there, basically saying that would it have got the same amount of time on the main card as it would have done on the pre-show? Probably not.
I don't think so.
So does it have more of an opportunity to steal the show now? Yes, it does. Do I think it will? I don't know.
I don't think it's going to steal the show.
Fantastic.
I think it'll be very good. I think it'll be very, very, very good. And they're going to try, but I don't think it's going to be very long.
Even on the kickoff? No?
No, I just don't. I don't think the kickoff shows are that long. The kickoff matches are that long. As a rule.
It's weird, isn't it? Because they do the whole like build up to whatever match it is, or what, they go through the card and they show you the same like 2 or 3 minute vignette that they'll show you again during WrestleMania, and then talk about it for a bit. So they've got 2 hours to have 3 matches and go through the whole card.
Yeah, and they do fanny around a lot. So I just don't. I think that's the only thing that goes again. I mean, you're not guaranteed a long match if you're on the main show. I mean, Christ, far from it. It could just be a disastrous show match. But I think if you're going on the pre-show, you're not going to have like the epic long match that you could, people tend to get the time for on the main show.
Yeah. To be honest though, to play a bit of devil's advocate there, Ryback and Kalisto from last year, probably the best match that I've seen Ryback in and will ever see him in.
That was very good. It was a surprisingly good match, actually.
Yeah, they both went for it, and they both did some really good spots. But that did get a bit more time than it would have done on the main show. So maybe it's going to be a blessing in disguise, this, and the people who do get there early on Sunday are going to see a 5-star match, because 5-star, everything would have to go right, but they are capable of it. But I'm still looking forward to it, because we're going to be there. And you can also argue as well, if you're going to talk about like viewing figures and what would be the best thing to be on as far as exposure, the pre-show is going to have more people watching it, because it's free on YouTube. I know the network you get a free trial, but how many people are doing that? It's free on YouTube. It'll be all over streaming sites. I think one of the USA is putting it on as well. So they've got it on. So if you're gonna basically say where are you going to be for so more people see you, it's the pre-show, because not as many people are going to watch the pay-per-view. Ironically. But speaking of pre-show, last match on the pre-show for now that we know of, as of what time is it? 10 o'clock.
10:30
on Thursday evening. Is the SmackDown Women's title match, which is every available WWE Women's superstar on the SmackDown roster going against Alexa Bliss. We still don't know what type of match it is.
I'm not surprised this is pre-show.
You called it.
Again, I just didn't think they were going to put this. I think if there was a chance it could have gone the main show if it wasn't for the Nikki Bella Maurice mixed tag. And I think it's, even though they've done the women's revolution, I still think it's a bit much for WWE to put 3 pretty much women's matches on a show. Even though they've got fucking 7 hours, well, 5 hours of the main show, 4 hours, whatever. They could definitely fit it in. And, you know, arguably, the SmackDown women are the ones that people are more asked about at the moment. So, but they're not the ones WWE want you to be asked about. They want you to be asked about Raw, but they're just fucking it up a little bit at the moment. So I think everybody wants to see the SmackDown women, and I knew it was going to get relegated. I knew it. I just fucking knew it would go on the pre-show. And Becky Lynch, last year she got one of the main slots of WrestleMania, and this year she's pre-showing while everybody else is. You know, she's turning into the new Bayley.
Yeah.
She's just been left behind in SmackDown. And it's not because of SmackDown. It's not because SmackDown, the women in SmackDown, and everyone in SmackDown is doing really good work.
Yeah, I think
it's such a good show.
And what I said, I can't remember if I said to you on the show or I said it to you recently. I think, and don't quote me on this, but the head NXT writer got drafted as well to SmackDown in the last 3 or 4 months, which is why SmackDown's shows have been consistently beating Raw on my point of view, on a quality standpoint. Still not beating them in ratings. They're a good 800,000 a show off them for ratings, but I think it makes a difference when you've got that head NXT writer that was making so many good decisions now on SmackDown. It is disappointing for it to be on the kickoff. There's got to be someone on the kickoff, unfortunately, but I didn't think they would go for that because, you know, the rumour is that the old women's wrestlers are coming back for it, people like Kelly.
Yeah.
Which shows you what they kind of think of these old wrestlers that they're bringing back. You know, if they thought it would have had any sort of sway or pop to it whatsoever, they would have put it on the main show. But then again, the ratings, more people are going to see the kickoff, more people are going to tweet at Kelly because she's got tons of followers or whatever. So maybe that's the reason why they've put it in there, just so they can have more exposure. But I don't know. It screams a bit of an afterthought to me.
Yeah.
Especially because they've not named the fucking match yet. Like, come on. Just have it as an elimination. Have it as a, can't remember what type of match it is, but let me know in the comments where 2 people start, pinfall, next person comes out. That would be interesting. Take a long time, but that would be interesting.
Indeed.
Any more? You look absolutely shattered, my dear.
I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm The Walking Dead. I've had about...
How many steps have you done today?
I have done today 24,317 steps.
And went on the Hulk ride. So if that doesn't earn an early night, I don't know what will.
Well, we woke up this morning. We set our alarm for 9 o'clock, thinking we'll get in Universal for 10. And we were awake for 6 because we were so excited.
Excited like a school kid at Christmas Eve.
But that was I think we had 4 hours sleep or something.
Saturday night, I can't see me sleeping. No. So we've had NXT leading into WrestleMania. There's no way anyone's sleeping.
No.
This, mark my words, Hilton Doubletree is going to be bouncing on Saturday night with Enzo Amore chants and a lot of woos.
I can't even do that because of my voice.
It's going. So
oh no, the Hulk stole my voice.
The Hulk stole your voice. He did what? I steal something from you when he tweeted you.
Well, not him.
Anyway, it's been 39 minutes of pleasure speaking to you all. Thanks for watching this. It's not something we normally do, but we will be doing it every day leading into this. Just because we would be talking about it anyway. So thanks very much for watching, and as always, until next time.
Cheerio, motherfuckers.
Pip pip.
Bye, boys.